Bro has the biggest and most impressive package. How sus is that? Why do I keep talking about guys' packages? I mean, it is what it is. It's as big as you could imagine. It's the most impressive package that we've ever seen. Coach Greg and Wesley Vissers has the easiest classic physique victory of all time. The only question remains is it going to be enough to defeat Mike Sommerfeld? And so here are the stats. 6'3", 250 pounds, just over 3% body fat. The glutes are shredded. The pec has so many lines as it, including the shoulders. I mean, everything top to bottom is huge. Again with the sus. And so, how are other people going to challenge him? Well, formerly, Mike Sommerfeld, he somehow was able to hide himself in at over 5'9". And so, I guess it's 2025, you're allowed to identify as whatever you want. He identified as not being a short king, that he was actually 5'9". Now, on his driver's license, 172 centimeters, or 5'7" and 3/4 inches. If he's above 5'8", he can weigh around 204. If he's 1 millimeter below that, 1 millimeter, you can barely even see it. He has to weigh 197. He was supposed to battle Wesley in Detroit, but he got his time zone messed up, and so he missed it by 2 hours. And so what exactly is going to happen at the Arnold's UK? Well, we know that Wesley's going to make the weight class. He still has several pounds that could go. He weighed in with his pants on his shirt, and so he clearly has several pounds left to grow. Mike Sommerfeld, he failed to make the weight class by approximately 6 or 7 pounds. And so when you have to lose 6 or 7 pounds, a lot of things can happen. You can look flat, you can look stringy, it can throw off your conditioning, or you might, in fact, just not even make the weight. But what we do know is that Mike Sommerfeld, based on his previous performances, based on the fact that he almost had beaten C-Bum, based on the fact that he'd almost beaten Ramon Dino, that he most likely would beat Wesley Vissers. But remember, Wesley Vissers was not at his best. In former meetups, Wesley Vissers was smaller, not as shredded, and Mike Sommerfeld was bigger. And so a downsized Mike Sommerfeld, forced to make his actual weight class, and imagine if he doesn't make 5'8". Remember, that is not guaranteed. If he shows up 1 millimeter shorter, he has to lose an additional perhaps 5 to 7 pounds. And if that happens, all bets are off. He's probably not even going to make the top 3. And so here's the thing. The whole weight cap thing, the height classes, all of this, my opinion, it should be gone. Why do we have height and weight? Why is there something special about men? Women's bikini, there's no weight class. Women's bikini, wellness, figure, bodybuilding, all of it, no height and weights. And so why is there height and weights in men's physique and in men's classic physique? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the judges don't know how to vote. They don't know how to judge. And so every time they see a bigger man, they think that bigger necessarily means better. But I'm telling you that it's not true. It's not the case. And that is the whole purpose of classic physique. We're bringing the aesthetics back. And last I checked, bigger doesn't necessarily make you better. And so Mepsigram, who's next to me, she liked Andrew Jacked.
You know what I like? I like the fact that he's still an electrician. That's
you like that, but the physique.
I think he's so...
If he showed up in classic physique, do you think he would win?
He would place well. He has a crazy shape.
Yeah, he still has a crazy plate. He has a crazy shape. He looks great. But isn't it too much?
It's a lot.
Like when you saw Ramon Dino sitting right in front of us, how big was that man?
Huge.
He's huge. Andrew Jacked, way bigger.
Yeah.
Can you believe? And so, in my opinion, Ramon Dino is big enough.
True.
Like, he's huge. Like, you don't need to be that big. And so, I keep saying I wish they would have classic physique light where they could give a smaller man a chance. For example, the black guy that got 9th against Sam Sulek, perfect example. They zoomed in on his photo, made him a little bit bigger, and they compared him to Sam Sulek and said, he was robbed. But as I was watching the show, I could clearly see that Bro had a way better shape than Sam, but he was lacking the size. And so Sam is going to beat him. But should he beat him? Remember, Does bigger necessarily mean better? Well, in classic physique, yes. It's still a bodybuilding competition, and so they still reward size. And so Wesley Vissers, who has more size than Mike Sommerfeld, they're clearly going to reward that. But should they? My opinion is get rid of the weight, get rid of the height, let everyone show up the way that they want, and let the best man win. Now, if I were judging, I could still judge fairly. You, Andrew Jack, you're 300 pounds. You're too big for classic. I'm marking you last. I'm sorry. I don't want that much size. Wesley Vissers, 250 pounds. Hey, that's the exact right amount that I want. And so in doing this, wouldn't that allow the athletes to present their best package and let the best man win? Whether it's somebody with a little bit more size or a little bit less size. I mean, when Chris Bumstead competed against Martin Fitzwater, did we not prefer the look of Chris Bumstead? My opinion, Chris looked better, but it was bodybuilding, and so Martin had to win. Now, if it was classic physique, where shape and aesthetics is more important, clearly, by a landslide, Chris wins. And so we don't need a height and a weight to tell us what athletes should be looking like, because my eyes can do the judging. And so we do away with the height, we do away with the weight, and if Mike Sommerfeld decides to show up weighing 212 pounds or whatever he decides to weigh, I can look up and say, nope, you don't beat Ramon Dino, you don't beat Wesley Vissers because you're too big. You look like an open class bodybuilder or perhaps a 212 bodybuilder, and so move into that weight class. But if you show up at 200, peeled, amazing proportions, hey, perhaps you deserve to be the winner. And so I would rather see Mike Sommerfeld competing at 197 pounds, shredded, peeled, bone dry with exquisite shape, than trying to fill out to 212 and winning because of more size. I don't like classic physique guys playing the size game. That is for open bodybuilding. And so we need to do away with these freaking weight classes. And even if we keep them, IFBB, I know you listen to me on most things, although it takes several months, sometimes years to actually listen to me. You need to be more specific. It needs to be, rather than each inch that people are hiding in at, it's each quarter inch. For example, if you're 5'7", you can weigh 197 pounds. 5'7" and a quarter, 199. 5'7" and a half, 201, and so on. That way, if somebody heights in and they miss their weight class by a 0.1 millimeter, that they don't have to lose, for example, 8 pounds. You can't expect that Mike Sommerfeld's going to lose 6-7 pounds in a couple of hours if he fails to make the height class by 1 millimeter. And so if you did what I was saying, hey, you missed your weight cap, you're actually a quarter inch shorter, you have to lose 2 pounds. How long do I have? 2 hours? Who the hell can't lose 2 pounds in an hour or two? Almost anyone can make it. And so there would then be no problems. And so if you don't want to listen to me and do away with the height and weight classes because you don't trust that the judges can actually judge without having these set categories, then simply divide the increments by 1/4 or at least ½ inch so that these athletes who fail to make the height class, because after all, they are shorter in the afternoon than they are in the morning, and so it's not even their fault. I am a 5'6" manlet, but perhaps I'm only 5'5" and 7/8 after supper. And so is it my fault that I'm shorter later in the day than I am in the morning? And should I be penalized? Should I be disallowed from competing after dieting for 4 months? I don't think so. And so do what's right, do what's better for the athletes, the fans, the spectators. They want to see all of their athletes compete. They don't want to see guys missing their weight classes because they missed their height by 1 point decimal of an inch. And so who's going to win at the Arnolds? Well, it is a lock, it is a shoo-in that Wesley Vissers is going to arrive at his best. Mike Sommerfeld, on the other hand, maybe, we don't know. I mean, is he going to make it there on time? Is he going to miss the height? Is he going to miss the weight? What else could he miss? Perhaps he'll miss getting a proper tan. One thing I do know for certain, I mean, after all, we saw what happened to Andrew Jack. Did Andrew Jack not come to my hotel room and get 5 boxes of each of these and took all the pills in one single gulp and ended up first place overall? $750,000. Did that actually happen? Whichever athlete contacts Coach Greg first will give them 10 boxes of Turk Builder Max, and they're guaranteed to win at the Arnolds. Trust me, I am going to the Arnolds. I am traveling there. I'm going to be reporting live on all of these undertakings. I'll be also covering Sam Sulik, And so if you want to see one of these athletes wins, please go and send them a DM. Send them a message and say, contact Coach Greg. We want you to get the 10 packages of Turk. You take 1 pack of Turk a day, you're winning the Arnold's guaranteed. And if you don't, it's a money back guarantee and a $50 gift card. Right? Right. You guys all know this. And if you're watching this, you're unemployed and you can't wait for it. You're here for it. And so, listen, Sam, the same applies to you. If you want to improve on your 8th place finish, it can happen. Turk Builder Max. Now, I know Sam does a shit ton of cardio because he had the 10,000 calorie cheat on the weekend. And so, Sam, to improve those bouts of cardio, you come and get GO2 Max. Get your cardio to the max. My pre-workout's kicking in.
I can tell.
I can feel it. Do you know what I'm taking? It's actually my old pre-workout. The original pre-workout, I took 1.5 scoops of that, whatever the candy flavor.
Pink candy.
Those of you who have been longtime subscribers know the pink candy blast.
OG.
I got 2 containers left, and I'm hoarding them all for Coach Greg.
It's fully hitting right now.
Oh, it is fully hit. That was 1.5 scoops. It's a lot for me. It's a 1 or 2 scoop serving. Sometimes I get blue lobstered, but I was in a different kind of a mood. I was in an old school Coach Greg kind of move, covering bodybuilding and so on. So we know that one of those guys is going to win based on how much Turk they get. We know that all men realize every quarter inch matters. Many people, and this actually made my day, they came up to me and said, hey, I know you're a 5'6" manlet, but you're 6'5" when you're sitting on your wallet. That was fun. I heard that, I think 7 or 8 times at the Arnold's. It was so funny.
So fun. I love when they use your lines.
They used all of the lines. They're unemployed. They come and bring the cookbook, and I could sign that. And so when you come to see me at the Arnold's, be sure to have your favorite line or favorite video. Tell me what you enjoy the most. It's great conversations. Can't wait to see you there. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo. And speaking of algo, visit Algo RX. You can get the peptides, the HRT, the enclomiphene, the Cialis. Who the fuck is Alice? Is that a song? What do I predict is actually going to happen? I predict Mike Sommerfeld is still going to go and win. I feel like bro has had such bad luck, like missing the height and missing the time. Like, he has to do it. And so, Mike, be sure to contact me to get your supply of the Turk. I am a fan of both of your physiques. I love Mike Sommerfeld's physique, but I do want to see it in open. And Wesley Vissers, who I once said would never make it to the Olympia, I did. It proved me so wrong, and I am a big fan of Wesley Vissers. And so, hey, when I'm proven wrong, I can admit it. Oh, and FYI, if you're interested in being sponsored by HDLT Supplements, of course, click the link. Coaching plans by myself and my team. Click the friggin' link. And if you want to carry the supplements to your stores or gym, you click the link. And until next time, I am out.